So does anybody still use direct mail to get new customers? They definitely do, and I'm gonna give you some tips on how to make it successful for you. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Neil Winterregg with Matterhorn Business Development, and today I want to talk to you about direct mail marketing and whether or not it's right for you and if I think it still works. First off, yes, I do think direct mail marketing is still a very viable option as more and more people continue to go more and more digital and trying to get your name out there through pay-per-click ads and Facebook ads and things like that. Well, it becomes a very crowded marketplace, and sometimes direct mail is actually another route that you can take, whether in addition to your online marketing or by just doing print, that actually reaches the homes of people and makes it into the hands of people. Nowadays, even e-commerce is still using direct mail to contact people who have been roaming through different websites or through social media apps. So direct mail still is a very viable option. In fact, most of my clients and people I've been working with for over 20 years have never stopped doing direct mail. Most clients actually notice a large dip in their amount of new clients in business when they are doing direct mail. They think it's not working and then they stop doing it. Usually 6 to 8 weeks later, you'll see a large dip in business because you cut out the mailing. So there's a few things to know before doing print to decide not only is it right for you, but also to make sure that you go into it with the right mindset. The first one is that it takes repetition of your message to actually start working. If you go out and get a quote from some online postcard warehouse that's going to make you 5,000 postcards and you send them out, you're probably not going to get any responses. You generally have to take several thousand names on a mailing list and mail to them multiple times to actually be able to get a result. It should be anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 names or more. Obviously, the more the merrier, but not every business has that kind of marketing budget or can afford to do that. But let's say you have 10,000 names on a mailing list. You break that list up into pieces, and each week you send out 2,500 of your postcard marketing pieces to each portion of that list so that each week you have a consistent flow of postcards or mailers going out to them. And that way you have a consistent reach back and not sending all 10,000 at once, getting over flooded with reaches, and then spending 3 weeks waiting for the phone to start ringing again. So I suggest spreading it out, but also you have to send the same piece to the same mailing list for multiple months in a row. I know people who claim, oh, I just got your postcard, but they've gotten probably 20 postcards and they just saw it for the first time because now they actually needed the product or service that you're marketing. So when you start out to do postcard mailings, don't think, oh, I'm just going to send one and I'm going to get a response. Nope, you're going to have to send out the same piece without any alterations or changes 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Most of my clients who do consistent postcard mailings might use the same postcard for an entire year and then change it up a year later or 8 or 9 months later so that each person on that mailing list is getting 8, 9, 10 postcards that all look exactly the same. Because believe it or not, people won't see it until they actually need what that product or service might be. So if you're going to do postcards, remember, it's a slow roll and it's a long game. It's not something that you send out 5,000 of and just think that you're going to make a bunch of money off of. Now, can that happen? Yes, it can happen. But in reality, it's something that you build towards. The next thing to know about postcard marketing is that your postcard has to look good and be unique and actually communicate a full message. A lot of times I get postcards personally sent to my house that don't actually really explain what the company is, what they do, what the product market is. And so sometimes it's kind of a waste. You want to make sure that the front of the postcard and the back of the postcard have the same main headline, because you might put all of your resources into making that front of the postcard look beautiful and gorgeous and eye-catching. But if I'm going through my mail, you can't guarantee I'm going to see the front first. I might see the back. So if the back also doesn't communicate what it is that you do, I'm only going to see the back and I'm going to throw it away. Whereas if I had seen the front, maybe it would have caught my attention. So the front and the back have to have the same or similar message. Obviously, they're going to look different. It's not the same thing printed on both sides, but you can't have the name of your product on one side and then other information on the back. You need to make sure that all the information relates. The next thing about postcard marketing is that there's actually a lot of promotion that you can do on your own, even if you're on a budget. There's actually a program that the US Postal Service offers called EDDM, or Every Door Direct Mail. You can go to the USPS website, you can search a direct mail route that a postal worker would actually deliver to, and it will tell you the average income, the average age, everything by that mail route. So you can target a direct neighborhood or a postal route in a certain area and go on the website and actually select that area, and it will then bring it up for you and tell you how much it would cost per house or per piece to actually mail to that door. So it's called Every Door Direct Mail. If you're a little bit tech savvy and can understand how to print everything and label it properly, the post office will actually walk you through everything that you need and how to print it off, how to categorize everything, and then you just drop it off at the post office and they will deliver it to you along that mail route. So look into Every Door Direct Mail if you're on a budget to be able to send out mail that you might want to send. That's obviously different from first class mail or something like that, but it is an easy way to go in and target maybe a neighborhood around your business or a neighborhood around your shop or something of that nature. You just go in, type in your zip codes that you want to hit or that one big neighborhood that everybody has money in or something of that nature, and you can actually target them directly. Now, as far as a response rate goes, it can change quite drastically as to how much of a response rate you're going to get. If you get a response rate of 0.5%, that's actually not terrible. But if you're getting 1 or 2% back of a response rate on your postcards, that's actually considered quite good. Now, at first glance, you might think, well, that sounds terrible. Well, that's why I said earlier, you need to send out several thousand postcards at a time to actually get responses back. If you send 100 postcards, you're probably not going to get anything. You need to actually send out multiple times, multiple numbers of postcards. But does it work? It absolutely works. The people that I work with, particularly in the home services industry, the medical industry, veterinarian offices, dentists, etc., all have direct mail as a key component to getting in new clients or customers. As soon as they drop that out, the phone stops ringing. And it's funny is that you might think people aren't getting your postcards because they're not walking into your business with the postcard in their hand. And they call up and they say, yes, I wanted to come in. And you say, how'd you hear about us? They said, oh, well, I found you on Google. Well, what did they do? They got your postcard. Then they Googled you, then they saw your reviews, then they called in and you said, how'd you find out about us? And they said, well, I Googled you. So what some people do is actually put a different phone number on their postcard to track how many phone calls came in from that phone number. And I've listened to these phone calls before. How did you find us? Oh, I found you on Google. But the number they called in off of was only on that postcard. So some businesses make the mistake of stopping their direct mail because everybody they talk to, quote unquote, isn't coming in from the postcard. If your numbers are going up and you think, well, nobody's coming in with their postcard in their hand, it must not be working, and then you cut it out, you'll see a huge dip in the next 6 to 8 weeks, which means you got to get back into your mailings. Mailing some sort of promotion to your clients and customers is key, whether it's new clients that you're trying to get or past clients. I know we tend to just think digital and text messages and emails are the only way people want to receive communication, but the truth of the matter is that's a very small portion of the population. Most people still do business and receive things in the mail and respond to it. And a lot of times that's the demographic your business is looking for. So go ahead, do some research, check out Every Door Direct Mail. And if you don't want to do it yourself, there are many, many different companies that are out there that will help you with it as far as how to actually do it. And they will walk you through the process. But Every Door Direct Mail is a system that the USPS has set up to specifically target specific neighborhoods. Now, if you want to buy your own list and mail to your own marketing lists, contact a mail house. They'll sell you different lists for your area, and then you can send as much promotion as you want to them as often as you want. But direct mail still works, and I usually recommend it to all of my clients to actually send out physical mail pieces. It might seem like it's old school, but everybody's been telling me for the last 20 years since I've been a consultant that nobody reads mail anymore, and yet all my clients do it. So I can definitely tell you it still works. So if you found this helpful, click down the link below, give me your feedback, and also be sure to check out metapulse.com, our channel sponsors here at Matterhorn Business Development, and I'll see you next time.